Okay, so where are we with things? We've got the hat figured out. We've made the adapter to hold this. It's going to be welded to the shepherd's hook. We've made our adapter nut that the our chain will fit through and screw into. The adapter nut will be welded to the top hat, so that'll pull everything together. So we started on the base, and I was going to use a piece of 5-inch channel that I had, but the more I got to looking at it, man, this thing's going to be a beast, and it's going to be heavy. So tried to think up a couple of other ways of doing it, and I went up to my dad's woodworking shop, and I found this beautiful piece of cedar. So normally I don't work with a whole lot of wood. I can, I just normally don't. So what we've decided to do is we're going to make the base out of this. As you can see, I've already drilled a hole in the cedar, and we went in and we chiseled it fairly square so that the shepherd's hook will slide into it. So that'll allow the shepherd's hook to be supported. It'll stay at the slight angle because that's the way we carved the hole. But how do I attach it? I don't want to see a bunch of fasteners. So I've got this piece of 1/4-inch plate that's actually got holes already drilled in it. And we're going to countersink these holes. I'm going to take this back up to the woodworking area and route out this area right here so that that piece of 1/4-inch stock is recessed up inside here. We're going to drill a 3/4-inch hole through this, and then I'll weld a nut into the bottom of the plate here, and so we'll be able to put a screw into it to hold it in place. So that's the plan right now. So let me go route this, and then we'll start looking at how everything's going to go together. Okay, so I've got the bottom routed out. Now all I've got to do is come in and clean the corners up so that the plate will fit down in here. I'm not a woodworker. My dad had the ability to do cabinetry and finish work. I don't. That's why I weld. So let's get this cleaned up. Okay, so our plate fits in there really good. Doesn't have a lot of wiggle to it, so I'm happy about that. We're gonna pilot drill these holes so that it doesn't split the wood, and then we've also got to lay out the hole right there for the pin that's gonna hold the shepherd hook. we've got the top hat made, and it looks like garbage inside, but here's what I had to do. Since I cut the top hat, I was putting the bevel on it. You can see it domed, and I miscalculated how thick the outer edge was. So it cut the center out of it. I don't have time to spend another 2 hours making another top hat. So what I did is I went in and I welded on the inside around the edges, and then I ran a bead around the outside, put it in the lathe, and shaved it off. I got just the slightest impurity right there, but I think it'll do. The next thing we did was we took the nut we made and we raised it up just a little. I put a spacer under it so that when the top hat, well, now if I can get them together, there. When the top hat and everything's together, the nut is right here at the face. So that takes care of that. The other thing I did in here, when I made that spacer, I made a 1-inch spacer, and then I notched it so that they can run the wires through here, pull them out, do the wiring, and the wire nuts can stay in this area out here, so that they're not tearing it up with the fixture. So, all right. Now that we have this part done, the last thing we have to do, we've made our plate. We've drilled a hole in it for the wiring to go, or for the recessed screw to go through, which will catch the nut that is welded into the bottom of that shepherd's hook. So now the last thing to do is I need to cut this angle to match the angle down here, so that when we weld the top hat's not like this, it's actually flush or parallel with the base. So that's the next thing to do. And yeah, we're knocking it out slowly but surely. Okay, y'all, that's pretty much the finished product. I've got to break it all down, sandblast it, clean it. We're going to powder coat it a matte black, and then we'll put a nice natural stain on the cedar to seal it. But I think it looks pretty good. We'll see what the owner says.